Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Madison.com and week 2 of the WIAA state basketball tournaments. This week, March Madness brings in the boys basketball tournament series. I'm Rob Hernandez from the State Journal, alongside Dennis Semrau of the Cap Times. And this week, we're going to break down the boys tournament field. But first, Dennis, I've got to apologize. Madison, Edgewood, and Weston, totally, last week in girls basketball, totally unexpected, for me at least. Edgewood beating Columbus in Division 2, Weston beating Barneveld in overtime in Division 4. So my apologies to those fans. Thanks for the kind emails reminding me that I missed those predictions. Dennis, any that
kind emails?
Anything that you missed
not quite.
week?
Boy, Madison Memorial. Congratulations to the Spartans. First time in the sectionals. Wow, 2004?
Yeah, 2004.
And that was great for Coach Jost and somebody you know very well.
That's right. So we'll see what they can do against Middleton. But we're going to break down the boys tournament field here. And Dennis, why don't you take it away with Division 1?
First of all, we have an absence this year in Division 1. Milwaukee King, because of recruiting violations, is not in the tournament. But all the focus locally will be on Madison Memorial, trying to make its 6th straight trip to state and win its 2nd title. Out of the Wanakee sectional, host Wanakee will have something to say about that, as will Madison East, which gave Madison Memorial its only loss this year. Over in the Janesville-Craig sectional, you got to like Beloit getting through the tough Big 8, but there's Verona right there too. First year in the Big 8, fared well. You have the area's leading scorer in Jason Zemer, and I think Wildcats will definitely push Beloit Memorial.
Yeah, no question, Dennis. The Beloit Memorial Purple Knights are really playing well of late. I saw their game down at Barkin Arena against Memorial, and they were up 17 early in that game. And they have the athletes to get to the state tournament. Obviously, Jason Zemer at Verona will be in their path. But if Beloit can get through the Wildcats of Verona, I think they could make some noise at the state tournament. Back to that Wanakee sectional, though, real tempted to pick Wanakee, maybe Madison East to upset the Spartans. But the way Madison Memorial has played the last 4 weeks of the regular season and the emergence of freshman guard Junior Lamamba, I just think they're too deep, too difficult a matchup for teams to contend with. I look for the Spartans to go all the way. In Division 2, the WIAA didn't do the local Sun Prairie sectional teams any favors by assigning Waukesha Catholic Memorial to the mix. Catholic Memorial's 14-6 overall. Four of their losses have come to Division 1 teams, so they're going to be a tough draw for whoever might get them. I look for Edgewood to be that team coming out of the regional bracket just above Catholic Memorial. And, of course, you can't forget about Monroe and River Valley at the top of the bracket. Monroe's been to state the last 2 years out of this sectional, and 3 of the last 4, and River Valley just a tough team to defeat.
Well, in the Sun Prairie sectional, I think it's just another take on what happened with the girls last week. We talked about possibly a Richland Center Edgewood girls. How about a River Valley Edgewood boys? I think people around here would not be surprised, even though those observers around the state might be. Catholic Memorial obviously has a battle-tested team, but I like Edgewood to escape out of that. And Monroe is still hanging tough because the Cheesemakers, obviously, with gone to state the last 2 years. They have the experience, they have the shooting, and I have the coach, and Coach Pat Murphy, who a couple years ago got to win a state title on St. Patrick's Day of all. In Division 3, we have a couple of sectionals to take a look at. First of all, the Baraboo sectional. There's Cuba City and Coach Derry Pettigrew, the winningest coach in state history, has the Cubans at 19-1, and obviously the pick in that sectional. However, Marshall, 15-5 out of the Capital South, will have something to say about that. Over at West Dallas Central sectional, which I like to call the private school sectional, Whitefish Bay Dominican, Racine St. Catherine's are there, but don't discount Cambridge coming out of the northern part of that sectional.
Yeah, no question, Cambridge has a tall order now. They could get through their half of the sectional to Dennis and meet either Dominican or St. Kate's, maybe even Milwaukee Northwest. Now 4-16 in the city conference in Milwaukee, but played some teams like Vincent and Milwaukee, Washington fairly tough, so people expect a lot out of them. Switching back to the sectional at Cuba City's, and there's no question that Cuba City is the favorite. They've been ranked number 1 almost all season, but they're in a very tough regional grouping. I look for tough challenges potentially from Darlington and New Glarus. They could meet in a regional semifinal on Thursday night. Now, Darlington handed Cuba City its only loss, and New Glarus playing a great style of Memphis offense basketball that could cause problems for the Cuba City Cubans. And that would be all before that meeting with Marshall. So a lot to look forward to in Division 3. Finally, in Division 4, it would take a minor miracle for Benton and Randolph not to meet in the Fort Atkinson sectional final. They've been the sectional finalists in that sectional the last 2 years. Randolph's had the upper hand both times, and boy, Benton is hungry to get that monkey off its back. The Zephyrs blew out Potosi the other night to clinch the Western Six Rivers Conference title for the 3rd year in a row. Randolph has played a tough schedule. They're looking good with Kyle Kelm and Tyler Tillema. I would almost bank on that being the sectional final again this year. In the Onalaska sectional, in the other half of Division 4, look for Barneveld, Potosi, some of the names you heard last week with the girls. They've got good boys programs. They could be in the sectional up there. Opposite, guess who? Wisconsin Rapids Assumption, the boys team up there, just as good as the girls. It's kind of the same old from last week, and it doesn't bode well for the local teams.
Well, I think Division 4, Onalaska sectional, obviously number 2, Wisconsin Rapids Assumption, but 4 of the top 9 teams in the state are in that sectional. You have to look at Barneveld, Potosi, North Crawford, but I think the edge goes to Assumption in this one, so our area might get shut out at state on that. But looking over at Fort Atkinson, what's a state tournament without Bob Heffley and the Rockets? But Benton's got a strong senior class, and I think they're due.
So there you have it, foolproof picks, guaranteed picks as to who's going to make it to the Kohl Center. We'll see if it happens. Hopefully your team will make it, and you'll enjoy the tournament trail as much as we will. For Madison.com, I'm Rob Hernandez with Dennis Semrau. Thanks for watching.
Send those emails.